About 10 years ago, my feet were wrecked. Plantar fasciitis, constant pain, and even some tingling and numbness that would keep me up at night. If you've ever dealt with that kind of foot pain, you know how fast that pain can take over. I picked up this foot massager back then just trying to get some relief. And here we are, almost 10 years later, and I'm still using it today. So in this video, I will tell you what actually helped, what didn't, and whether something like this is even worth your time. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a truck driver. Long hours sitting, climbing in and out of the truck, walking on concrete. My feet take a beating. Back when I bought this, I hadn't fixed my health yet. I was still dealing with a lot of foot pain, inflammation, and early signs of nerve issues. I wasn't looking for a miracle. I just needed something that might help me get through the day. If you've ever had plantar fasciitis, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You step out of bed in the morning, and that sharp pain hits your heel immediately. Some days it loosens up. Some days it doesn't. On top of that, I was dealing with tingling and numbness in my feet. Now looking back, those were early signs of neuropathy, something a lot of people ignore until it gets worse. And I'll even throw gout into the mix, because when your overall health isn't where it should be, your feet tend to pay the price. Bottom line, my feet were not in a good place. So like most guys, I started looking for something, anything that might help. But in my case, I didn't just order this online. I actually came across it at a Costco roadshow. And I remember this like it was yesterday. I had been walking around Costco for who knows how long on a Saturday. Feet were already tired, already sore. They had one of these set up to try. So I sat down, used it for about 10 minutes, and I could feel the difference right away. At that point, I wasn't thinking long term. I just knew this felt good enough to take a shot on it. So I bought it. Now, the first thing you notice about this is not some spa gadget. This is the MedMassager. This one is model MMF07. It's heavy, it's simple, and it feels like something you'd find in a physical therapy office. No apps, no Bluetooth. This is a no-nonsense machine. You plug it in, you turn a dial, and it goes. I've always said this about gear. There are tools and there are toys. This is a tool. Now, when I first got this, I didn't just try this once or twice. I used it consistently, 3 to 4 maybe times a week for a couple of years straight. Now, this was before I lost the 100 pounds of fat, before I cleaned up my diet. When my feet were still taking a beating every single day, and this became part of my routine, especially on Fridays. End of the week, long days behind me, I would sit down, kick my feet up in this thing, glass of wine or a little whiskey in hand, and I'd let it run for 10 to 15 minutes. And I will tell you, this was one of the few times my feet actually felt normal again. As my health improved, I didn't need it as much, but I didn't stop using it. Even over the last 7 to 8 years, this has stayed a part of my routine. Not 4 times a week anymore, but usually once, maybe twice a week. A lot of those times it's Friday night or even Saturday morning with a cup of coffee. Just taking 10 to 15 minutes to loosen things up. At this point, it's less about dealing with pain and more about maintenance. keeping things moving, keeping the circulation going, so I don't end up back where I started. Back then, what I noticed pretty quickly was improved circulation. When you're sitting all day or even on your feet all day, your lower legs don't get much movement. This helped with that. The vibration gets deep into the foot, especially around the heel, arch, and Achilles, which is exactly where you need it if you're dealing with plantar fasciitis. And one thing I did not expect, but this actually mattered to me. I got size 14 feet. My whole foot fits on this without any problem. That's not always the case with these things. Let's be clear. This didn't fix everything, but it absolutely took the edge off, especially on my worst days. One thing I will say, if you crank this thing up too high and overdo it, you will feel it the next day. So respect the powerful motor in this massager. If you're dealing with the same kind of foot pain I was, plantar fasciitis, long days on your feet, I've got a link to this down in the description. If you use that link, it does help support the channel and it doesn't cost you anything extra. Here's where this thing really stands out. This MedMassager, I bought it in 2016 and it's still running today. No motor issues, no breakdowns, no problems. I just plug it in and it works. Most products don't last a year. This thing is going on a decade. And I will say this, if this thing died on me today, I wouldn't even hesitate. I'd go right back on Amazon and buy another one. Later on, when I switched to a ketogenic lifestyle and got my inflammation under control, a lot of these issues improved. My plantar fasciitis got better. The overall pain improved. But at the time, this was one of the tools that helped me get through those days before I fixed the root cause of my problems with my feet. So if you are a truck driver, if you're on your feet all day, if you're in a blue-collar job, construction, warehouse, trades, if you are a first responder or military, spending long hours in boots, carrying weight, constantly moving, your feet take a beating. If you are dealing with foot pain, circulation issues, or just general wear and tear, this is something worth considering. But if you're looking for a miracle fix, this isn't that. It's a tool. And like any tool, it works best when you actually use it properly. After almost 10 years of using this, I can say this without hesitation. It's one of the toughest, most reliable tools I've owned. Not flashy, certainly is not trendy, but it works. If you want to check it out, like I said, the link's down in the description. And if this helped you out, drop a comment and let me know what you're dealing with when it comes to foot pain. If you found this helpful, please go ahead, drop a like, hit the subscribe button, and join this community, growing community of men who are going to help encourage each other and become the better husband, fathers, and sons that we need to become. God bless.